Hi guys, I am just setting up some tech here. If anybody could do me a favor and go check on YouTube. I don't know if we're live, but my streaming software says we are live. I am gonna have to be making some changes because trying to go live on multiple platforms is just not seeming to work. So we're gonna have to change some things. Changes. But that's how life works, right? That's how you gotta roll with the punches. That's what they say. Hey, Corey, how are you? You guys see me over on YouTube? Am I live on YouTube? It doesn't show me that I'm live. Hey, Gigi. Tech. Great free streaming software. I am live, neurodivergent. Thank you very much. I cannot see it, guys. So I can't see the chat, which is what I was trying to open up here. So I apologize. I just don't know why it's not showing on this end. That's the strangest thing. Okay. All right. We are live now on YouTube and hopefully Kick here in just a second. Yep. All right. Kick is live. YouTube is live. Thanks, Cedar. Not showing on YouTube. I don't see it either. Neurodivergent, maybe it's a special live just for you. Oh. All right. We will get started here in just a moment. Give everybody a second to filter in. If you do not follow me over on YouTube and or on Kick, if you hang out on said platforms, I am at Move With Change on all places that I can be. And this, my friends, is our tiny yoga class. Tiny yoga. You mean like yoga for kids? No. You mean like itty bitty tiny movements? Sometimes, yeah, but no. After many years of traveling and living in big and small spaces, and using that as an excuse not to do my practice, I finally decided to put this class together so that I can cultivate space within, right? The point of yoga is not so much to build a bunch of muscles, to buff out. I mean, there might be a byproduct, right? If you're doing it every day, you'll definitely get some tone. But the intention here isn't to become a bodybuilder through yoga. It is about preparing the body for mindfulness, for meditation. Sky, do I do past life coaching? Yes, I do. If you have any questions about coaching, private sessions, stuff like that, feel free to send me a message, and we can chat about that. You can also go to my website, movewithchange.com. For those of you who do not know me, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and I am your shenanigan shaman, so always keep that in mind. Do not expect an entirely serious session anytime you get on with me. This is our tiny yoga class. Again, when conceptualizing this class, the thing that struck me was a scene from Aladdin, because my son and I had just recently watched it. And this piece where the genie comes out of the lamp and he goes, he's got these infinite cosmic powers in an itty bitty living space. And for him, that meant the lamp. right? And for some of us, that means an RV or a tiny home or just a really small bedroom or our office space, right? But we can go deeper than that and recognize that our infinite cosmic souls, right? Our infinite cosmic prana that flows through us, this expansive energy, is put down into this finite living space, this limited body space, itty bitty living space. I used to say this when I studied child development. When I first started studying child development, I used to say all the time, can you imagine going from a cosmic, infinite, all-knowing part of the flow, one drop in the ocean, and you flowed with the ocean. Can you imagine being that and then having to come and try to smash all of that into a finite being? Of course it's crazy. Of course it's weird being a human. We've got to smash infinity into finite. So the tiny yoga class is about that. Is about tapping into the finite. Is about tapping into the infinite within the finite. Connecting to that life force that really flows through us, right? In my spiritual studies, after the book studies and whatnot, do we realize that it's not about encapsulating the infinite in the finite. It's about allowing the infinite to flow freely through the finite. And I think that's where we get stuck a lot of times, is we think that we have to compartmentalize and hold in all of that energy. And really, we just got to let it flow. We just got to let it move. Katie, you have a hard time staying in your body. You started grounding up. Yeah, so I also, because of past trauma and things like that, and just things in my life, right, I have spent a lot of my life, and many of us do, experience early trauma, and so we move our energy up. And it's much easier to live in these upper chakras than it is to ground our energy all the way down in the earth and to really feel the full flow, the full capacity of our energy body. So that's what this tiny yoga class is about getting into that, getting into our body flow of the infinite to move through this finite meat bag. So what you need is a place to plop your butt. So if you are sitting in the front seat of your car, it might be a little bit difficult because we are going to move our knees and whatnot, so maybe the back seat would be a little better, or turn yourself out the side of your driver's side door. Otherwise, you can be sitting in an office chair, you can sit on the edge of a bed, you can, if you're outside, go sit on a park bench or a half wall ledge or something like that. Watch out for the spikes that they put on those. Anyway, this is tiny yoga. So we are going to move through the class is about 30 minutes, so we're going to move through a flow. We're going to end our flow with our mudra for the week. I will show you guys the mudra when we get there. The point of the session today, our intention in our session today, is just to connect with that flow, with that prana that flows through us. So I invite you, if you've got a few minutes, to come join me. Feel free to modify any of these poses to suit where you are at. Remember, we are not in the business of making a battle within ourselves. We're not in the business of creating a war within ourselves. Definitely not to get in an arbitrary pose, right? We are honoring where we're at, maybe gently touching the edge of where we're at, and then just letting it be. There's no need to change it. There's no need to force something further open or anything. We are being present with ourselves. We are honoring where we're at, and we're just connecting to the body, to the breath, and to the being. So if you are ready, if you've got your bottom plopped down somewhere, go ahead and find the edge of your seat. Go ahead and ground your feet. Let's see how many times I can say go ahead in one session. Ground your feet, and for just a moment, roll your feet around on the floor. It's okay if you have shoes on, so roll your feet in your shoes if you do. If you're barefoot, great, that works too. Just connect. Move your toes a little bit, wiggling them, pressing them into the floor. Roll to the outside of your feet, pressing, just gentle pressure on the outside of your feet, feeling into your feet. Rolling that pressure around the back of your feet to your heels, and then around to the inside of your feet, pressing into the arch of your feet, and then back up into the ball of your feet. Now, with intention, ground the entire foot. Feel into the entire bottom of your foot, from heel to toe, from outside to inside, the entire bottom of your foot. If you haven't already, go ahead and rest your hands in your lap and close your eyes, and we will begin our practice with 3 deep breaths. Seal the lips. Inhale through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and all the way into the belly. And sigh out. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. Exhale. Inhale once more, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Hold for a moment. And slowly release. We're going to begin with our head. We're going to do some neck rolls. I invite you to feel into the muscles in your neck. We're not trying to overstretch here. We are just warming the muscles. You can inhale the chin up, exhale the chin down. You can start side to side, dropping the ear towards the shoulder, keeping the shoulders relaxed so you're not scrunching your shoulder up towards your ear. We're just dipping the head side to side or up and down. Give yourself a couple of rotations, rolling the head one way and then the other. Just feel into your neck. We're not overextending. Come back to center. Go ahead and look over one shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever works for you. I like to keep my eyes closed. Helps me move into my body, keep my awareness in my body. Bring your head back to center. And then lift your right arm and drop your head, allow your hand to hang, lifting your right arm. Drop your ear to your left shoulder, creating a little extension in that right side of your neck. And then slowly inhale the arm up just about shoulder length and exhale down about 45 degrees. We're not trying to drop the arm completely. We're not going over the head. We're just inhaling it up ever so slightly, exhale down ever so slightly to get a little bit of more motion here and a little more stretch, a little more motion in the shoulder and stretch in the side of the neck. Go ahead and gently release the arm, bring the head back up to neutral. Inhale that left arm up, allowing your hand to hang. I'm out of camera here. Allow your hand to hang and drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck. Inhale ever so slightly up, exhale the hand down 45 degrees and back up. Just a couple here, stretching the side of the neck, warming up the shoulder. As with any of these movements, feel free to pause, stop, or modify as necessary. Go ahead and release the arm, bring the head back up to neutral, and we'll move into some torso rotations. So resting your hands on your thighs or on your knees. Begin one direction, just rounding out your back and then pressing your belly forward. So little rotations of your middle. Wiggle your middle. And then the other direction. Back to neutral, and for a moment, just lift each side of your hip. So lift the right cheek up off your seat and back down. Inhale, left, up and down. This is a really small movement. It's not supposed to be big. It's not supposed to be getting into any edges really. Just a gentle lift on both sides, moving into every part of our body. And then go ahead and go ahead and come back to neutral. And then we'll windshield wiper the knees, dropping them back and forth, side to side, either side, back and forth. Just warming up the legs and the hips. And back to neutral. Go ahead and extend your hands out if it's available to you. Allow your hands to hang. And on the inhale, lift your heels off the floor, raising your feet to the balls of your feet, and lift your hands so that your palms are facing forward, spreading your fingers out nice and wide. Big open palm forward, arms extended, heels up. And then exhale, dropping the hands so that the palms are facing in, keeping the fingers extended. Drop the heels and lift the toes. Inhale, palms out, heels up. Exhale, palms in, toes up. Couple more. Inhale, palms out, heels up. Exhale, palms in, toes up. 2 more. Inhale, palms out, heels up. Exhale, palms in, toes up. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Lifting those toes and release the arms. Pause for a moment here, allowing the muscles in your body to rest. We often mistake ourselves, way too often mistake ourselves for human doings, and we forget to allow ourselves to be human beings. So pause for a moment here and just allow yourself to be present with the muscles in your body, be present with your breath. I invite you to take a moment to just observe the breath, the body, the muscles, scan for any tension that may still remain in the body. Notice any changes from where we began. Take a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths as you sit, just bearing witness to your present state of being. I love the little check-ins during practice because it allows me to take note of the minor changes that happen, even with these, actually the major changes that happen, even with such minor movements. We're going to move through a bit of a flow. The intention here with this flow is to stay present with the breath. So we're going to take a couple of, the first 2-3 rounds, we're going to go nice and slow. Okay, keeping your feet planted on the ground. Bring your palms together, interlace your fingers. Inhale, your arms up, pressing the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, twist to one side, twisting the torso to one side and exhaling to drop your hands. You want your front arm to take the outside of your front knee and your back arm to either rest on the back of your chair or come down to your seat or the bed or wherever you're sitting. And take another big deep breath here. And exhale as you slowly come back out to center. Same thing for the right side. Interlace those fingers. Inhale, palms facing up. And exhale, twisting to the right. Front arm on the outside of your knee, back arm on the back of the chair or the bench or the bed, and twist, looking over your shoulder. Inhale. And exhale back to center. Now we're going to go through that again, and we're going to add one more piece at the end. So inhale, interlace your fingers, press the palms towards the ceiling. Exhale into your twist to the left side. Inhale in the twist. And exhale back to center. Inhale, press your interlaced palms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale in your twist. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, interlace your fingers underneath your right thigh. Inhale that knee all the way up to your chest as close as you can get it. And exhale, drop your forehead to your knee, again, as close as you can get it. Slow, steady exhale. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, plant the foot back on the ground. Interlace your fingers under the left thigh. Inhale that left thigh up. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, back up to neutral. Exhale, release your leg. Okay, we're going to start again. Interlace those fingers, press the palms towards the sky on inhale. Exhale, drop the arms open and twist to the left. Sinking a little deeper into that twist. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Interlace those fingers. Inhale, palms up. Exhale to the right, twisting, looking over your shoulder. Inhale in your twist. Exhale, back to center. Interlace those fingers under your right thigh. Inhale, right thigh up. Exhale, forehead to knee. Slow, steady, follow your breath. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, bring the knee back down. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, back up to neutral. Exhale, back down. We're going to add another piece here. Inhale that right leg back up, pulling it up to your chest. And as you exhale, drop the right leg over the left. Cross your legs. Good morning, Starmuse. Cross your legs as close as you can. Exhale and just pause here for a moment. Inhale. And exhale with the right leg crossed over the left. And we're going to start again, leaving our right leg crossed over. Interlace those fingers. Inhale, palms up. And exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale in your twist. And exhale back to center. Interlace the fingers again, inhaling, palms up to the sky. And exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale in your twist. Exhale, back out to center. Inhale that right leg up to your chest again. And exhale, go ahead and gently put the right leg back down. Left side. Inhale that left leg up, all the way to your chest. Exhale, cross it over the right, as close as you can, as much as you can. Interlace those fingers. Inhale, press the palms towards the sky. And exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale in your twist. Exhale back to center. Interlace your fingers, press the palms towards the sky as you inhale. And exhale as you twist to the right. Inhale in your twist. And exhale back to center. Inhale that left knee up to the chest. And exhale back down. Pause for a moment here and check in. Notice now the quality of your breath. Notice now the quality of your body. Notice now the quality of your being. Continue with slow, steady inhales and exhales. When you are ready, we're going to go into the hips for just a few moments here. So take that right knee again. Inhale that right knee up to the chest. And as you exhale, flex your foot, cross it over your left knee, and open your right knee. So allow this is a modified pigeon pose. Allow your right knee to open as far as is comfortable to you. We're not pushing you past any edges. We are just being present with the edge and allowing the weight of your leg to rest on that edge. You can rest your hands on your leg. You can rest your hands beside you or hold on to the chair. I invite you to take an inhale, elongate the spine. And then ever so slightly, as you exhale, slowly lean forward as far as is available to you. I invite you to find just where you can feel a little tension. I'm hyperflexy, and right now I feel tension at just this ever so slight angle forward. So just pause here. Do not push past that tension. Breathe into that tension. Again, you can be holding on, you can have your hands on your legs, holding onto your chair, hands on your chair. Just rest where you are at, where you meet the tension, not past it, where you meet the tension. And take a few deep breaths. Imagine that the breath is inhaling all the way to that spot where you feel that tension. So for me, it's right there in my low back, sciatic kind of area. So I'm going to inhale the breath right to my sciatic. And I'm going to exhale the breath, imagining all tension, anything stuck, anything no longer serving me is releasing from that area. We're going to do 2 more big deep breaths, breathing into that tension. Last one, make it nice and big. Really fill your lungs, really fill that area with your breath. Hold at the top. And when you are ready, slowly exhale through the mouth. Very controlled, slow exhale. Imagine pushing all that tension away. Inhale back up to neutral. Lift that knee gently out of that pigeon pose. And exhale, releasing the leg back down to the floor. Pause for a moment here. Notice the difference between your right and left. Just give yourself a moment to be with the changes, with the adjustments. When you are ready, inhale that left leg up, bringing the knee to the chest, and exhale, flex the left foot. Cross it over your right knee. Keep that foot flexed. It's going to protect the knee joint. And as you exhale, allow the knee to drop open into seated pigeon. And again, just honor where you are right now. Don't push too far past your edges. If it's too much weight to rest your hands here, just rest them beside you or hold on to your chair. Whatever works for you. You can even rest them, just let them hang between, in the little hole that's made right there, right? Just honor where you are. Touch the edge. Find the edge. We're not pushing the edge. Take a big deep breath in. And then slowly exhale into a slight forward fold, bending at the hips, keeping the abdomen nice and activated. We're not creating tension, but we're using the abdomen to hold our body in this slight forward bend, finding what works for you, where that edge is. See, I've got a little more room on this side. So find that edge and then pause where the edge is and allow the breath. Inhale to clear space. Exhale. 3 more breaths, breathing into the point of tension that you experience in this position. Two more breaths. One more. Inhale, really big, deep, full inhale. Feel that breath get all the way down into your hips. And then slowly exhale. Inhale, come back to center, come back to neutral, lifting that left leg off your other knee and gently releasing it back to the floor. Pause here for a moment, grounding your feet out. Bring your knees, if they weren't already, bring your knees to shoulder width apart and feel into the bottom of your feet. Again, first into the toes, around the outside of the feet, bringing your awareness to the back of your feet, your heels, around the back of your heels to the inside of your foot. With intention, pressing into the entire foot, across the ball of the foot, the toes of the foot, the heel, the sides, the bridge. Feel into your feet for a moment. Again, notice the body. Notice your state of being. Release the breath. Release control of the breath. And just notice where it settles. It helps to go ahead and close your eyes. Just take a few moments to be present with the body. To be present with the breath. To be present with the being. Now you are welcome to simply stay here, eyes closed, being present with your current experience. If you would like to join me in practicing our mudra this week, this is the Avahana mudra. You can go ahead and open your eyes. The Avahana mudra is done by bringing the palms open, the sides of the hands together, making sure the sides of the pinkies and the sides of the palms touch. And then bring the tips of the thumbs to the base of the ring finger. No more pressure than the weight of a nickel. This is the Avahana mudra. And this mudra is done with palms out. It can be a little much for some of us. I have pretty good dexterity, and holding this can still create tension. So I invite you to modify however works for you. It can be laid in the lap. I find that to be too tense on my wrists, so I hold it up here. You can hold it a little higher if that works for you, but it's important to keep the palms facing out. We don't want them in like this. We want the palms facing out. So however that's available to you, find where that works, and again, if the dexterity is not there and you cannot reach your middle finger with your thumbs, just set the intention to hold this mudra to make that connection, and then bring your thumbs as close as you can. I have a friend who can't even get his thumbs further than this across his hands, so I always try to think about modifying mudras for him. Bringing as close as possible your thumb to the base of your ring finger, and then keeping the palms out. Go ahead and close your eyes once you find a comfortable position for this mudra. This is the mudra for connection, and it's grounding, it's centering, and it assists us in connecting to that divine prana that flows through everyone and everything, that common thread that weaves us all together. Remember, as we said when we were started out here, the infinite that flows through the finite. So go ahead and close your eyes once you've got your mudra, and just return to bearing witness. Wherever you choose to lay your attention, please bring it back to that position, that spot, every time it gets pulled away. Our mind monkeys can sometimes chatter. Our worry-wart selves can be like, oh no, I forgot this, I forgot that, I've got other things to do. All the chatter, go ahead and just kind of let that go. And if you find yourself distracted, just bring your awareness back again to being the observer, to wherever you choose to rest your awareness. You may rest your awareness on the mudra. You may rest your awareness on the bottom of your feet. Maybe you rest your awareness on your low back. Maybe you rest your awareness on your third eye. Whatever place, or on your heart, wherever works for you, rest your attention there for a few moments. Allow the breath to anchor you into this internal space. The finite space, yes. An itty-bitty living space, yes. For an infinite force. The source of our life force. I invite you to experience that prana flowing directly through you. Being aware of its presence, being aware of the way that it feels when it moves through your finite body. Ask yourself that question. What does prana feel like? What does that life force feel like? What does it feel like to have divine infinity flow through my finite self? And then just witness. Allow the answer to rise within you. Make sure you keep your fingers extended on this mudra. It's okay to turn your hands in a little bit if it makes the mudra a little easier, but you do want the fingers extended. We don't want them falling together. We want separation between them. And just take several moments with the breath. As we sit in this simple state of being, occasionally the body will release things. The body might jerk, twitch, burp. The brain does the same thing. Twitch, jerk, burp. try to distract us, pipe up with worries and fears, concerns, judgments. Remember that all of these are simply asking to be released, like bubbles from the bottom of a lake, coming up through the layers of consciousness as we rest in a state of being. Allow these things to release without attachment, without a story, without trying to follow them down a rabbit hole. Just bring your attention back to your present state of being. The heart, the breath, the mudra, the connection of the bottom of your feet to the earth. Your third eye, wherever you want to lay your awareness, bring it back again and again and again. This is the practice of being present. The name Avahana in Sanskrit translates to invitation. And I love the sentiment, the energy there, because it begs us to do nothing, but to be present with what arrives, what flows through us. Take this opportunity to be present with whatever arrives for you. Let it rise and fall within you, the same way your heart rises and falls on your breath. Continue to breathe, continue to bring your awareness back to the present moment. We don't need shame, blame, and judgment. We meet ourselves with grace, gentleness, and compassion. As we take ourselves, our thoughts, our body, our mind by the hand, and lead it back to stillness. You may stay here as long as you would like. When you feel complete, I invite you to bring your palms together in prayer or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice. In gratitude for these magnificent meat bags that we get to live in, finite as they may be. In gratitude for that infinite divine prana that flows through us. That life-giving force that weaves everything in creation together. And of course, offer yourself some gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. I'm so proud of you, you kinky beast, you. Hopefully we worked out those kinks. If not, you can come back to this practice, to any part of this practice, whenever you need it. Thank you so much for joining me. When you are ready to come out, please do so slowly. Offer yourself some stretches and some wiggles. Only opening your eyes when you're really ready to do so. Oh, apparently I forgot a forward fold and I needed a forward fold. Oh. Thank you guys for the gifts. I'm gonna scooch you on over this way. Come on. Come on, come on. That was a wicked mudra. You know, I have been really enjoying this mudra this week. I have been using this mudra. So it's the mudra, again, for connection. Opening up your crown immediately. Nice. It's the mudra for connection, and I have found myself recently using it when I need to connect more deeply with my son. I'm a single mom and homeschool and whatnot, so sometimes things get a little bit crazy around here. And as the parent, I recognize that it's my responsibility to be the one responsible for the connection, for the interaction, for the boundary setting and the navigation, the scaffolding, the assisting my child in navigating things as they rise and fall within him and within his reality. That's my responsibility as his parent. But if I am not present with myself, I am not going to be able to be present with him. If I am not connected to myself, I will not be able to be connected to him. And if I'm not connected to my divinity, I'm not connected to myself. Yeah, that's the one. Woman, it brought me right to the crown and present. It is such a powerful, and again, I love that it my Sanskrit is not perfect, but the pronunciation of this is a long va. It's avahana, and it just means invitation or invocation. If you have a specific deity of any kind that you work with or like to spend time honoring, this mudra can be done with that, with the intention of connecting to that particular deity. If you want to intensify the effect of this mudra, Om. Add Om with it. Or another mantra, especially if you're Shiva is your person, or Shakti is your person, or Yeshua is your person, right? You can use any of these. You can use this to then add an Om, which is just the echo of the universe, the resonance of the universe. Or you can use a mantra or a prayer to go with it. Now we going deep. Heck yeah. I told you, be prepared for shenanigans. Amanda, the replay will be up on YouTube. I'm having some tech issues, so I'm trying to make sure the replays always get posted. Sometimes the lives don't actually go live on all the channels, but there are going to be some changes again, guys. I don't mean to keep changing things. I'm just trying to find what works for me, both with my schedule, having to homeschool and all that stuff, as well as making sure that I am using my time wisely, and still being able to offer what I want to offer to you guys. Yeah, Star Muse, we always weave these things together, though, you know? We always weave the pieces of practice together, the insights we receive. And isn't that just it? Illusions, Richard Bach's book, Illusions. We just read that piece yesterday where he was told illusions. It's all illusions, right? Thanks, Elizabeth. It's all illusions. The illusion that I am living in a finite body. The illusion that I am a finite being. Thank you, Galactic Overlord. That is the ultimate illusion, right? And to recognize that I am not separate. I am not yin or yang. I am the entirety of it. Yes, Katie, yes. And that's what I'm working on. I'm working on allowing divine timing to flow through me rather than me being the... I'm a Virgo. I'll just say that. I have a Virgo sun. So I have to remind her that the universe is wiser than we are, that the universe knows the end game, right? No matter how Virgo I am, I'm not going to know the whole story. And it's a Virgo full moon. Are you a Virgo moon, or were you born on the full moon in Virgo? The full moon in Virgo, yes, is happening tomorrow or really, really early in the morning. I was born under a full moon. Virgo gang. Get a bunch of Virgos in a room. But one of my biggest practices, right? We think about astrology and we think about these energies that we have available to us. These are not technically just weaknesses. I don't like to look at these things in the sign and say, oh, I have this weakness because I'm a Virgo and I'm a perfectionist. No, it can be used as, it can be a strength or a weakness, right? And I use that perfectionism as a strength. It's my superpower, but it can also be my kryptonite. That's what's most powerful about astrology, about these energies that we receive when we are born under these particular signs, is that we receive the recipe for either a superpower or for our greatest weakness or for our kryptonite. And it's all about how you use that energy. And honestly, you're not going to know how to use shit if you're not even present with the energy that's available. Right? Yes, I have that Virgo sun. Yes, I have that perfectionism. Yes, I can let it tear me to shreds, overwork me and all that stuff, and I'm learning, right? Because I'm still coming back from that place of perfectionism, place of high achieving type A. My value is in my production, and if it's not perfect, then it needs to be redone. But as a Virgo, and wanting so badly to be right, but it's less about being right and knowing the correct answer. That's what it is for me, and it always has been. It's about knowing the correct answer. And for years, I have intentionally studied and sought the correct answers outside of myself. And it left me in a place where at almost 40, I still struggle to look within and be certain of my answer, because I've spent so long looking externally for everybody else's answers. I have no idea why this just does not want to play today. So how are you going to hear your answers if we're not even paying attention in the first place, though? Right? That is the journey. That's right. It's about the journey, not the destination. And one of the greatest gifts I ever received was the gift of surrender. Was the gift of acknowledging I am such a finite being, and the universe is infinitely more creative than I am. I get a little shred of, the creative spark that we get as these amusing, fun little human creation creatures. But there is perfection in surrender. Problems bring gifts. Catkin, she, they, that guy, this guy, human being with a double E, being, not human doing, not trying to label myself as anything except an infinite being, trying to just be here in a finite reality, made up of all illusion. Argue for your limitations, and indeed they are yours. Argue from your limitation. for your limitations. And indeed, they are yours. And that can be any. I'm limited because I'm a Virgo and I'm a perfectionist and I have a judgment problem. Well, there's my limitation. I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that. I don't have the right certifications. Well, there's your limitation. The world is so distracting. My mind is so distracting. I can't meditate. Well, there's your limitation. What's the old blue-collar comedy tour? Bill Engvall has the "Here's Your Sign" bit that he does. And I think of it oftentimes with limitation, because he goes, "Here's your sign," right? Somebody does something really absurd, and he's like, everybody should carry around the signs that say, "I'm an idiot, don't interact with me," right? Here's your sign. But that's how the same sentiment, the same amusement comes along with this thing that we choose our limitation, that we then choose it and then we argue for it. And we dig our heels in and we sink our teeth in and we refuse to let go of our limitation. I'm not good enough. Nobody's ever really going to love me. I'm not going to be successful. My life is hard. Our intentions are powerful. And our words are manifestations of our intention, whether you intend it or not. So if you are already creating your reality unintentionally, why not take the helm? Why not put some intention in? Why not infuse some intention into there? So that life doesn't happen to you by accident. You're not running into life. Life's not smacking you over the head and going, "Oh shit, where did that come from?" The experience of truly being present in the moment is a bit surreal. Katie, let's see. Inner critic, my life is abundant. I get to exist. It's an honor to be in my presence. My big one lately has been, I just erased it off my board and totally forgot it. I trust myself to take good care of myself. I trust myself to take good care of myself has been mine recently, because I discovered through mindfulness that I don't trust myself to protect myself, to be strong for myself, to make good decisions for myself. Yes, somewhere here I do, but here, I don't trust myself. And that's hard to acknowledge. At almost 40, that's hard to acknowledge. I've gone this long without trusting myself. And somewhere in my brain, I have a whole litany of reasons why I shouldn't trust myself. Judgments, shame, and guilt about the decisions that I've made, the choices that I've made in my life, the things that I have done. But argue for your limitations, and they are yours. Forgiving yourself is one of the most powerful things that you can do. I invite you to join me for just a second. Lay your hands on any part of you that feels like you need it for a moment. I'm going to choose my center of willpower because I've struggled with boundaries and I've struggled to maintain them and set them. I'm going to place the other hand on my heart. Thank you, Galactic Overlord. And I'm going to close my eyes for a moment. I'm going to bring my awareness down to these parts of my body where there's fear and sadness, shame and guilt, all bundled up and stored in this part of my body. I'm going to take a big deep breath in, filling this area with fresh, clean oxygen. And as I exhale, I'm just going to say to myself, I love you. I forgive you. I love you. I forgive you. I love you. I forgive you. I invite you to sit with this practice and to notice what moves within you when you do that. It seems like such a simple, silly thing, right? I just put my hands on my body. What is it going to do, right? But that moment of being, the little moments of being where we offer ourselves genuine compassion and genuine holding space for ourselves. I think of it like this sweet spot, right, in like a mama's arms, or like the big hug held by a big, strong dad, right? Like big, strong parent. Doesn't matter whether it's whoever. It's just that feeling of being held, being carried, being protected, being weightless in someone else's strength. That's the feeling that I bring here. Weightless in someone else's strength. But that someone else is me. Is my higher self. Is the all-loving, compassionate self. Is that extension of divinity that is manifest within me, here holding space for me. So many times we wish to be carried through life. It reminds me of the poem Footprints. That footprints in the sand, and looking back, I saw the two sets of footprints where God walked alongside me, and then I noticed the hardest point in my life, when there was only one set of footprints, and I turned to God and I said, why did you leave me? Why did you leave me in the hardest time? And God responds, I didn't leave you, I carried you. Remember that divinity, that God particle, God, is not just up in some arbitrary cloud in the sky floating around and drinking wine with Zeus, right? Like, it's here. When you need to be carried, all you need to do is fall into your own arms, because they are the strongest arms you will ever know. When you need to be loved, you come home to your own heart, because it is the deepest well of love that you will ever know. Remember to take the time to connect, to cultivate that connection with yourself. Thank you guys for the follows. You are very welcome, Catkin. Don't forget you today, okay? You are just as important, if not more, than everything else on your to-do list. And as we know, trust, love, right? Even manifestation happens in tiny little moments, tiny little increments. So don't wait until the end of the day to drink your whole jug of self-love for the day. Aw, Katie. Good. Oftentimes we feel like we're up to here with life, right? We're so full, we're so overwhelmed, so exhausted, right? Life is so, we're up to our eyeballs in stress and all these things. But oftentimes it's partially because we forget to release pressure. We forget to, sometimes I joke about it like off-gassing, like if I was fermenting, if I was a fermenting jug, you have to release that pressure because things naturally bubble up and expand. We are expansive, we are growing, we are like a fucking kombucha culture, right? We are just like expanding and growing and consuming and like consuming that life-giving force so that we can grow and expand. But we don't remember all the time to release the pressure that's created by that expansion. Galactic Overlord, I have the thimble. I have the thimble. Tink brought it here. She lives in the Fae tree. She may know where your shadow is. I will ask her. So, my friends, I remind you again to take time today to be with yourself, to be present with yourself, to honor where you are in the moment, who you are right now, because the reality is that you are already perfect. I think sometimes the audacity that we have as humans to look at the creation, all of creation, including ourselves, and judge it and shame it and say that it's imperfect, right? If we believe in the perfectness of our creator, whatever creation you think that is, you believe that is, whatever process by which we manifested, if you believe in the perfection or the chaos, the imperfection in the chaos, right? Then you cannot see yourself as less than that. Because you are that. You are not separate from that. That is the most powerful of illusions, is that you are alone. That you are not perfect in a perfect world. How? It's an oxymoron to say that the world is perfect, that God is perfect, but I am not. You are. You are perfect because you have been broken. You are perfect because you fall. You are perfect because you make mistakes. You are perfect because you forget your divinity. If the world did not need you exactly as you are, you wouldn't be here. So, I'm grateful you're here. Grateful the sun just came out and graced us. So for those of you who do not know me, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being. I am your shenanigan shaman, and I am the owner of MoveWithChange.com. At MoveWithChange.com, we are growing a little community called the CAYA Sangha. CAYA, C-A-Y-A, stands for Come As You Are, because authenticity is your purest expression of divinity. It's the purest expression of you, and you is who we're looking for. You is who we need. You is who you're meant to be. Nobody else. So the CAYA Sangha is a space where you can show up just as you are. Come as you are. Even when it's messy. Even when it's wacky. Even when it's scary. I am working to create a better space for said community and to adjust my schedule to create better space for my personal practice and my personal life. Look out for those changes, guys. I am probably going to be veering away from doing my lives on TikTok, and that is mostly because TikTok is lagging my content. TikTok is hiding or banning my stuff, taking it down very quickly. So, TikTok apparently believes that mindfulness is nefarious. So, it's very likely I've started a Patreon, and we're going to be doing memberships and things through the Patreon. I'm at Move With Change on Patreon as well. And if you have not followed me on YouTube, please go follow me on YouTube. That is where I post all of my replays for my free classes. If you are a subscriber here on TikTok, I will send you guys all a free month subscription to the Patreon, the base level of Patreon. Just let me know if you would like that subscription, or I will send one or something. I'm gonna do the shifts, but ultimately it is to create a better space for you guys, a better space for me, better timing for everybody, and to get away from having to fight with social media. I'm tired of fighting with social media. I like offering free classes, and I will continue to offer free classes. It is likely you're going to need to find me on YouTube or Kick. I might do these two here. So keep an eye out. I will post. That's why the universe wasn't allowing me to post the new schedule, was because it's not ready yet. I have to make some big changes, but they're going to be good changes for everybody. So. Hi, Holly. Welcome. Again, I am just closing down right now. This is our Bhakti Vice classes. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? Devotion to self-care. Because oftentimes we leave self-care for the last thing on our list through our day. We put ourselves last. In reality, you need to be first. Because you can't drink from an empty cup. And you sure as shit can't give somebody the sweater off your back if you're naked. So self-care. Donna, YouTube is kind of the main one I'm going to be focusing on, because it is a nice platform that everybody is pretty accessible to everybody. So YouTube, as far as the community goes, I think we're going to be moving over to Discord. And one of the biggest reasons I think I want to do that is because Discord has the voice channel option. And we have a group coaching group coaching in the CAYA Sangha. As a member at the CAYA Sangha, you get twice weekly group coaching, once weekly practice sessions. Actually, like I said, I just created the Patreon. All of the membership levels are there. I'm at Move With Change on Patreon. I'm at Move With Change on YouTube. Yes. It's the others. Don't worry about the others then. Go ahead. You don't have to follow on all channels. I will put the same content on all channels, except for the membership levels. Membership levels will get you access to different kinds of content. So that does mean that the Astro Live Natal Dive that I usually do on Friday nights, where we look at your natal chart for subscribers, that we're not going to do. If you guys want to cancel your subscription, I totally understand. If you keep your subscription, I will send you a link for a free month subscription over on Patreon. But I got to get off of TikTok taking 50, 60%, 70% of what I make. It's absurd. And then lagging my content on top of it. I'm not doing that shit. But Kick is another streaming platform that I'm on. I'm going to get on Twitch as well. So we have a couple of different streams. So I can kind of cast that net out, right? So everybody has access to the classes, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're doing, no matter what angle you're coming at it from. But Sangha members, keep your eyes peeled on your email. I will send out emails for announcements for all the things and directions for where to go and whatnot. This will be the last time. Yeah. If you want to work directly with me, you can always send me a message on any of the channels. You can also email me at movewithchange@gmail.com. Thank you, Holly, for what you do as well, my friend. I would love to connect deeper as well. I think those are all the things. So the Tiny Yoga, the replay for Tiny Yoga will be on YouTube. If you want to work directly with me, send me a message. If you want to join the CAYA Sangha, go to Patreon and go ahead and do that there. I am going to get rid of the Move with Change website, mostly because it costs a bunch of money and I can't use half the features and the internet's breaking. The internet's breaking. So we're going to cultivate our private platform over on Discord, and we're going to go through Patreon for the memberships because they take a small amount. And I'm going to be selling my workshops as downloadable courses through the Patreon as well. TikTok forgets their other platforms. How silly of them to lose revenue. Yeah, I know. It's been pretty funny. And I actually work with what's called the agency. An agency, they have these agencies that assist creators on TikTok. And what's really interesting is I brought a number of these things up to them and they tell me TikTok is strict. And I laughed and I said, no, TikTok is selective. And that's the problem, because small creators like me who are getting shadow banned and my stuff taken down within 20 minutes of going on the FYP, there's no point in me being here, especially when larger creators are posting stuff that clearly violates community guidelines. That's what they're saying. They're saying that my content violates community guidelines or is unoriginal. And I was like, okay, fuck you, TikTok. Unoriginal content that I just now created and like went through CapCut real quick to like do little thing like my edits. You're right. That's totally unoriginal shit. So I'm going to take my unoriginal shit somewhere else, and we're going to do these live classes somewhere else where people can enjoy them without me having to pay TikTok to hide my shit. So anyway, that's my little bitch fest for the moment. The most authentic videos must carry too much energy. Yeah, Greed is running that. I know. And it's really been hard. Just I'm not on Facebook at all. FYI, don't go looking for me over there. Yes, there is a profile there, but it's not me. I'm not on it. Don't touch it. Don't even interact with it. You're not going to get a response. Because I just won't play. I won't play with those games anymore. I won't play these games anymore where the powers that be think that they have the right and again, the audacity to, and the arrogance to attempt to silence us. Yes. Come find me on YouTube. Find me on Patreon. I created multiple levels of membership for you guys because what it used to be, I used to have $7.99 here on TikTok and then $77 for my membership at the CAYA Sangha. Two major, right? That's a huge gap between the levels of membership. So I actually broke it down a little bit and created multiple levels of membership so you can get in wherever there's an 11, there's a 22, there's a 33, there's a 11, 33, 55, 77. And then there's the bigger ones as well that run 99, 111, 222, 333, and 444, depending on the degree to which you want to get your feet wet in mindfulness, the degree to which you want one-on-one work with me. That said, I just started working on it yesterday because I'm type A, superpower and kryptonite. I am finally putting together a movement facilitator certification program. Hey, Bishop, I have more than 20 years of education and experience in the field of human development and wellness across the lifespan. I've been a non-denominational reverend for the last 10 years. I've been a birth doula and a death midwife and many things in between. And for many years, I have known that I always wanted to turn it into a training course. And I am creating that course now. There will be 2 sections to it. There will be a 6-month part, and then there will be a 3-year part, depending on how deep you want to get, how far you want to go with it. That 3-year part will also include a entrepreneurial business building piece of it. Yeah. Hey, Tony. I'm really excited about it because this is like the culmination of my life's work, is to put this training program together. You're doing just mindful movement in my courses this week. Awesome, Bishop. Check out I just finished the tiny yoga class for today. And it was a really nice session. So I also am a huge fan of cross marketing. If you have stuff that you sell or classes that you teach, you are not stepping on any toes. Please message me directly, and I'm happy to share the stuff that you do too. You know, the way of the new economy is us supporting each other, boosting each other. We don't need to fucking pay for ads. Don't pay for ads. Share it with your friends. Boost your friends. Benny, what's the meat suit challenge? Thank you for the follow, Stardust. So the meat suit challenge, I do a couple of meat suit challenges every year. I call them meat suit challenges, but really it's just like a movement challenge or a body challenge. This is your meat suit. This is what I call my meat suit. So the meat suit challenge that we started out this year with was a 40-day Kundalini Kriya. Kundalini Kriyas are specific actions that are used to bring about a specific outcome. So this Kriya was the Kriya for releasing addiction or releasing habits or releasing attachment. And it works to increase or improve the connection between the third eye and the pineal gland. Is a really awesome Kriya. Hey, Otter, how are you? It's a really awesome Kriya, and it is an open program. I'm going to have to finish that encapsulate that and resell it. So if you want to join the program right now, you can go to movewithchange.com and you can join the program. It's a 40-day program, and each part of the program, each day has a practice video, a timer video, so you can practice with it. The first day has the full instruction of how to do it. And then each day has a couple of reflection prompts with it to help you dive deeper into, hey, Diana, how are you? Dive deeper into the practice to really explore the outcomes that come along with doing the Kundalini Kriya. So that is totally free. And any of my meat suit challenges are totally free. And they are kind of the way that I like to put out, the stuff here and create content and whatnot. But if you have any questions about that Kriya and want to book a session with me, always remember that you can book there's a couple of options. One, you can book a free consultation. It's a 30-minute free consultation that we talk about kind of what you need, and it's usually a stepping stone to get private services, whether it's one-on-one services or join the community. But if you have just a question or wanted to chat about something, you're welcome to take the free consult on my website for that. Also, I'm still doing coaching by donation. But I've changed it to a calendar. So you can just go ahead and select the times that work for you for coaching by donation rather than having just a block of time. Coaching by donation is literally what it sounds like. It's 15-minute sessions that you pay whatever you want to pay for the sessions. I think it made me pick a maximum and a minimum. So I think it was like $1 to like $10,000. So you are welcome to pay whatever works for you within that for 15 minutes of a coaching session. And we can dig into anything in my toolbox, okay? Again, 20 plus years of education and experience in the field of human development and wellness, and 10 years as a reverend. So there's a hell of a toolbox back here. There's a lot of fucking treasure in this toolbox. There are a lot of tools, and the universe has allowed me to collect all of this so that I can share it with you. Imagine me like a library, okay? So grab those coaching by donation sessions for whatever you want for 15 minutes to check out to sit here and check out a book for a 15-minute out of your library. If you have any questions or concerns or want to chat with me about stuff or want to debate some topic we're talking about, I'm also totally open to that. Feel free to send me a message on all the channels, on any of the channels. You can always email me at movewithchange@gmail.com or rev@movewithchange.com. But I need to stop giving you guys options. Please just go follow me on YouTube so I can cultivate that channel and offer more subscriber stuff on YouTube. They don't take as much of a cut, and they don't hide my videos. So join me tomorrow morning for Bhakti Bites. Bhakti Bites is at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We will finish out the week with our Avahana Mudra. If you missed today's class, it is over on YouTube at Move with Change. All previous classes since November are on YouTube at Move with Change. So go dig in, enjoy the classes. Feel free to comment, share, tell your friends. I really, it feeds my soul to teach these classes for free. So it also makes me feel really good when I see you guys watching them, when I see you guys interacting with them, when I see that little heart comment that just says you heard it, you saw it, and you enjoyed it. So feel free to let me know that you've been there. Awesome. Thank you, Bishop. And once I reach 500 subscribers, we're over 100 now. Yay! Once I reach 500 subscribers, I can start offering subscriptions, membership, and stuff over there. Thanks, BST. I feel like there's something else, but mostly I'm doing some schedule changes and I'm trying to fix that, figure that stuff out. I'm going to finish it up here this week and let you guys know. I do have other announcements, but the big announcements was if you are a subscriber here on TikTok, we are no longer doing the subscriber only lives. So, but if you remain a subscriber for the next week or so, I will send you a coupon to get a free month membership over at the Patreon, because I'm just switching over to Patreon so that it's my cash. Okay, I love you guys. Mwah! Enjoy your Friday. Reach out if you need any fucking thing. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow morning on YouTube, Kick, and TikTok. Love you guys. Oh, I will be on later reading more for General Shenanigans. I will be on around like 4:15 for General Shenanigans. We're going to continue reading Richard Bach's book Illusions. If you missed the first 2 sessions, go to YouTube and listen to the first 2 sessions of the book. We're almost done, actually, I think, with the book. So, all right, I love you guys, and I will see you in a little bit.